this a secret? I know you like to keep it clean. No prying eyes to keep you honest. What do you hide when you hide with me? If you think you're clever, then you've never weathered anyone like me. I've been training all my life. Guess your numbers are right. Cause when she calls mine, I'm not gonna lie. Those pretty eyes, are you scared now? You can't erase all the things you've seen. Do you like my shows and all my monsters? Now you're my latest favorite.
Happy New Year, Chris.
Do you wanna play misbehave?
I hope you had a
ways you
good
plan
New
to
Year's
hurt me, abuse and drain me dry. Now you wanna know if you'll make it out alive. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Don't you want my affection? I thought you said you were mine. Won't you join my collection? La 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 la, you'll be fine. Oops. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TTRPG Theater. Hey, Dark Elf Twilight. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone out there. It is 2026 at long freaking last. Yay. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I've I've got to admit this is probably going to be the longest I've had one for quite some time. I not, normally I haven't been one for, what do you call it? Normally it annoys me to a certain extent and then I get rid of it. But I've had a lot of people say that they like it, so I'm going to hang on to it. And, of course, the perfect timing with the ad break. I need to figure that whole thing out. One of these days. Oofa. It's all right. No worries. All right. Back from the ad break. Oof. That's annoying. I need to go. I think that's going to be one of the few closest things I have to resolution is figuring out a better system for scheduling those and something so that it doesn't come up at the most inopportune of times. But, it is what it is. It's, the price of being able to stream on Twitch. And, it's just something I have to deal with. But yeah, it is 2026. I hope you all had a good New Year's Eve. I hope that the start of the year is treating you kindly. Granted, depending on where you are, where, you could be much more further into the new year. As a matter of fact, it could be close to the second for you already if you're over, somewhere in Europe, or you could be over, what we call it. But I suspect most of you are like I am, where it's been anywhere from, 13 to, 14 to 18 hours since we hit New Year, the new year. which isn't bad. Which isn't bad at all. It's nice to be able to change that particular number because 2025 was a bear. Let's face it. I don't know that 2026 is going to be any better, but one can hope. It's like what we need to hold on to these days. And me, I need to. One of the other things I do need to fix this coming year is getting this camera in a better position because I'm kind of dubious on the auto tracking that it has. You would think it would know that I'm off centered. Yeah, Dark Elf. That's kind of where I'm going with it too because it really needs to be. It really, really, really needs to be for many, many reasons. Not we're not going to go into all of them, but there's plenty of reasons why we really need it to be a better year. But yeah, I'm it's so funny. It's like it's the 1st of January, and I'm already sitting here panicking about making sure that I get done all the things that I need to get done this year, or want to get done this year, like running more games and such. Because I suddenly looked down and I realized that, all right, in 2 weeks I'm going to be at Page, so that'll be I'm going to head. Well, basically I think the night before, that Wednesday before, so on like the 14th, and then I'll be there through the 18th, and then like 10 days later, a week and a half later, I am leaving for some vacation time. And so, yeah, then I'll be gone for like another 10 days. And suddenly it's February. And then February, we've got the St. Jude's fundraiser. And so, there's a weekend where, I'll have games scheduled for that. So, at least that's the one good thing about that is I know I'll have games scheduled that weekend. So, there will be at least movement in the campaign. And next thing you know, suddenly we're off to the races with, that's like the third, the first week of February is like I'll be gone for vacation. Then the second week is quiet, but the third weekend is the fundraiser. And next thing you know, suddenly we're off to worrying about GaryCon coming up quickly. And, I'm happy to tell you that if you are going to GaryCon, for those of you who are, my 3 games are scheduled. They are on the schedule. Actually, I should probably let me see what I am logged in under. Whether it's my name or my handle, that being Phantom NJ. So for GaryCon events I'm hosting, it's a shame, Dark Elf. I get it. Hopefully next year, and I can say next year and actually mean next year. At this point, hopefully things will be better for you and you'll be able to go. Because it'd be cool to hang out with you again. Nashville was what, 2 years ago now? I don't even know anymore. Time is so weird at this point. I've lost all concept of relative time. Is it 3 years already? Jeebus. Yeah, no, I guess that tracks. But yeah, it'd be cool to hang out again. I'm excited. Going to see Lee and Siegland are both going to be at GaryCon, so that'll be cool. Get to see the two of them again. I mean, Lee lives relatively close. It's funny. Lee does not live. If you're a bird, Lee does not live all that far away from me. There's just no good way to get there from here in terms of where the two of us live in relative to each other. So it's like every once in a blue moon. But actually, I think I'm going to see Lee at Page. I believe so. I forgot to add. again, I've got Page coming up, and well, yeah, I mean it's pretty much a peninsula. Really, actually, I mean, all things being equal, it is. I think technically it's a peninsula. I mean, because the western border of it is the Delaware River, and Delaware River goes right out, all the way out to the sea. I guess it depends on how you want to define peninsula. I mean, we've got it's border, it's border on by water on one side and on both sides, on well, two sides going down all the way down to the tip of Cape May. So yeah, it's a little weird. Um, but yeah, no, I mean it's going to be cool. My games at GaryCon are going to be at 9 a.m. If you're looking for me, if you are going to GaryCon, for those of you who are and are looking for my games, you should be able to do a search by Phantom NJ because that's what it has me under for hosting. I can't say, yeah, but Dark Elf, it's not an island. The northern border of New Jersey goes straight into into New York. I can go north into New York without hitting any water. Well, no, it can't possibly be an island. It because the northern border of it is literally all it's literally a land crossing. For an island, it'd have to be unless there's a definition of island that I'm not aware of. And I mean, granted, but every definition of island I've ever understood says that you have to be surrounded by water on all sides, and it is not. So yeah. So I was saying, my games, for those of you who are watching or might be watching later, who are looking to find my games at GaryCon, they are at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. starts for all three sessions. I will be running a Tower Gygax session. I cannot say when that will be. I know when it will be, and I am not the only host running at that time. So even if you knew the time, I couldn't guarantee that you would be at my table. But if you join Tower of Gygax, there's a chance that you might have me as the DM, and that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that, mostly because it's been 30 something years since I've run first edition. 35 years maybe. It could be more. Yeah, it's about maybe about 35 years. Since I've run first edition. I think I was still a junior in high school the last time I ran first edition. Cuz I'm pretty sure second edition came my senior year, and my high school buddies and I all tried it out immediately. We took the dive, and then by the time I was playing in college, we were doing all second edition. But yeah, I'll be running Tower Gygax session, but I have my Castle and Crusade sessions on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning at 9 a.m. They will be in Evergreen, and if you search for Phantom NJ as a host, Drag here. That's about same as me, 1989. Because I graduated high school in the summer of '90. And one of the things that made it easy was the fact that the only real game I had at that point was when I'd go and hang out with my high school friends, and I went to a regional high school, and they all lived 20 miles away, so it was I'd go spend the weekend with them, and we'd basically play the weekend playing D&D and Robotech, and also ping pong because one of my friends had a ping pong table, and we all really enjoyed it. 1989 to that about tracks. I didn't. I mean, in the 2000s, I was barely getting to play at all because all of us were suffering from real life, and I got married in 2000, divorced in 2008, and there were very, very few sessions, but the sessions that we did have were still 2E. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have anything resembling a campaign. Well, I mean, the only time I really had a strong campaign was the 2 years that I was in college at the frat house. I mean, we played a little longer than that. We still used the same characters for a while, but the next time I had anything that actually resembled a campaign, as opposed to us just getting together and playing some D&D, was 2000, maybe 2010 or so, when my buddy was playing what do you call it? Oh, excellent, excellent. I did not realize that you were playing in that game, Curtis. You and Brett. That's awesome. Happy New Year, my friend. Was my buddy was running a 4E game for his for his sons and nephew, and then asked a bunch of us if we wanted to join up, and I was playing and then running. And we switched DMing after a while, and I was running 4E for a while, and then eventually we switched to 5E. But yeah, no, I missed the entire 3X. But yeah, no. All right, so you're all a year ahead of me. I'm graduated in 90. Nice. But yeah, no, I mean it's 2E. 2E honestly is still probably my true D&D love. It's the system that I run Castle and Crusades because one, they made it really easy really accessible for people. That's part of the big attraction was being able to run a game where everyone could get the player's handbook online, and the Siege engine makes it really easy to teach. Also, it's very accessible for using all of my 1E and 2E stuff. There are times, especially nowadays, there are times when I really, really would love to go back to running 2E because I just enjoyed the hell out of it. 2001, 2006 was all friends and family campaigns. Yeah, see, I never had a stable enough player base to have long campaigns. I mean, when my buddies and I got together in high school, it was people wanted to, they wanted to roll up new characters for games, and we'd spend a weekend probably I'd run a module or something like that. All right, well then. I know I'm playing Durgrim on Saturday, so Dark Elf. I have a sibling. My brother and my cousin taught us the game, very randomly when we were on the young side, and it was something that I really wanted to play and be my brother and I play together, and not thinking to ask what I needed to play the game. I ended up getting the Dungeon Master's Guide first. All right, Curtis, awesome. Thank you for dropping in, and see you Saturday. But yeah, so I bought the Dungeon Master's Guide, and it was probably another 5-6 months. Hey, Tux, good to see you. Happy New Year. It was probably another 4 months or so before I got the Player's Handbook or the Monster Manual. So I had read by that time. I had basically read the first edition Dungeon Master's Guide from front to back. But yeah, there were long stretches of time where it was just me and my brother. Like we would go visit relatives, and we had a lot of cousins, but our cousins were the youngest of our cousins, with the exception of one. Most of our cousins were the youngest were a little older than I am, to being anywhere from my age but slightly older, to being 3, 4, 5 years older. So there were times where cousins just were not there, and it would be us with the adults, and my brother and I would bring our D&D books with us, and we would disappear into a room, and basically we would come out when it was time to eat. We would make an appearance if my parents wanted us to socialize a little bit, but it was just the two of us. Every once in a while we'd convince a couple of our friends, kids that we knew on a block, to try and play. Some were, some stuck with it a little longer than others, but none of them were, none of them really got into it in a big way. So, I was constantly, it was constantly rolling up new characters, doing new things, basically I be buying different modules and just basically running the module for my brother when we or we do stuff like roll up a bunch of characters and just randomly have them fighting things from the monster manual. I think there was one time where we basically just came up with I went through the things with a bunch of things and did it almost like an arena style thing where all right, next up we have next up we have a minotaur. Next up a pair of basilisks, whatever, just random things. And when we had higher level characters, like, all right, let's have them fight a blue dragon and all kinds of things like that. Eventually we've my brother found out that one of his friends in his elementary school class liked D&D, and we played for a bit, but it was never a stable group of players. In high school I had two friends for the entire 4 years who really liked the game, and those were the two I'd go hang out with. But it wasn't a campaign. It was roll up characters, and I'd run an adventure over the course of a weekend or whatever. And then we also got into playing Robotech, and actually I think I did more of a campaign in Robotech with them than I did in D&D. But we also had to roll up a bunch of characters because the characters in Robotech tended to die. I think I killed more Robotech characters in the 4 years of high school than I've killed D&D characters in 40 years of DMing, or whatever version of D&D. I've run Temple of Elemental Evil. I've run Temple of Elemental Evil 3 different times, using 3 different rule sets, and I will never run that again. I'll run Village of Hamlet. I will not do the Temple again. I'm one of the happy days for me was when Jay had Frank Menser on, and he talked about how why Temple felt unfinished, and it is. There are so many things in Temple that it's just like, what is going on here? And honestly, if the thing wasn't so freaking huge, I might have had more energy to go in and like not remap it, but rework the entire thing as how the Temple runs and all the different cults. But there were so many things about that didn't make sense to me. And the third one was was actually with Friday Night's Crusade group. We ran Temple of Elemental Evil, And that might have gotten further than any of the other groups. And there came a point where it's just like, all right, you guys have done enough. We're going to, you can go out and have it, you know, bring in the big boys because you've confirmed that there's a big trouble here and you're not high enough level for the kind of story that this required. Yeah, it was one of those things. I mean, I even bought the Goodman Games version, reworking of it, so that I could spare my original Temple of Elemental Evil copy, which has taken a bit of a beating. It's still in good shape, but the cover, you can tell that it's worn. It's been well used. I love Village of Hamlet. I mean, I think Village of Hamlet by itself is awesome. I've run Village of Hamlet probably at least 10 different times for different groups in a bunch of different systems. Of the classic adventures, the only one that compares for me in terms of running it in terms of number of times I've run it for, maybe not 10 different times, but I've run it a fair share, maybe 6 times. The only one that compares to me in terms of being able to run it for people is White Plume Mountain. Yeah, the problem with the Goodman Games version is the books are too freaking thick. It's unwieldy. You can't. They took a thick, they took what was a thick adventure already and, put it in heavy, heavy binding and thick covers and it's like. I was struggling to use the thing. I was like, all right, well, never mind. It was an idea. I don't know that I've ever actually run Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. It's one of those modules that I'm pretty sure is missing from my collection. When I say missing from my collection, I mean I lost it. I don't know that I ever actually owned Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. Oh, it's volume 2. It's a big paper, nice big paperweight. You can hold a lot of things down with that. Oh man, those two the 2 volumes of Goodman Games Temple of Elemental Evil will make for a nice improvised weapon. You can whack somebody with them. But yeah, no, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks is one that I think I need to find a printing of it because I don't know how I never ended up getting it. Still have my Queen of Spiders copy. Still have my Scourge of the Slave Lords compilation as well. My White Plume Mountain is part of the Realm of Horrors compilation where it's S1 through 4 that has Tomb of Horrors, White Plume Mountain. Actually, hold on a second. What was it? Lost Caverns of Sajkanth, or oh man. Okay, no, I was wrong. I do have Expedition to the Barrier Peaks because it is. I was beginning to think so. It's because it's S3. It's the 3rd module in that Realms of Horror compilation. Keep on the Borderlands is the one that I'm thinking of. That's right. Expedition to the Barrier Peaks is the one with the spaceship, right? I don't remember the last time I actually ran that. Yeah, okay. Yep. I think I ran that once when we were kids, and I don't know that I ever ran it again. Then there's Lost Caverns of Sajkanth. I've got some 1st edition modules. Oh my goodness, I've got so many of them. Between I mean, granted, I've got those 4 compilation sets, the S1 through 4, T1 through 4, A1 through 4, and then the Queen of Spiders one. Listen, anyone who thinks it's controversial, here's what I want to know: the people who think it's controversial, are they big Gygax fans? Because I got news for you. Mordenkainen's appeared in a lot of sci-fi stuff. It's like the running joke is Mordenkainen has died a tremendous number of times, including in playing in I think it was like Gamma World, and all different types of things. I think he might have I think he might have played. I don't remember when Starship Warden came out, but I think he might have died in there. Oh, I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. That's fine. It's like there are people like, oh my God, it's sacrosanct. You can't be doing that. Oh. Which made me kind of appreciate the way that they sort of snuck it in with Spelljammer. I like the idea that they're magically controlled, and that the whoever is controlling it kind of has to give their all to flying the ship. Hey, Moose, good to see you. Happy New Year. D&D already has way more sci-fi references in their medieval fantasy that they don't want to acknowledge is in medieval fantasy. Oh boy, yeah, no, well, there are some people who just take this too seriously. I mean, it's a game. I mean, if you're getting bent out of shape over what is or isn't in a game, might be time to go step outside and touch grass. I mean, if you don't want to include it in your game, that's fine. Hey, listen, you play your game your way, but if you're getting upset that this is an option for anyone else, what the hell are you doing? I mean, I get not everyone likes Spelljammer. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm not pushing Spelljammer on anyone. For me, it was my third favorite setting. I had Greyhawk, I had the Ravenloft setting, and Spelljammer. And if you looked at my 2E collection, you'd understand exactly what that means, because I've got a lot of those 3. I have, with the exception, I think, of a couple of the reprintings that they did, or not the reprintings, but like the special edition stuff that they did. I have like everything for Greyhawk that was printed for 2nd edition. Ravenloft, I don't have everything. I would say I probably have about 75 to 80% of the Ravenloft content printed for 2nd edition. And Spelljammer, maybe 65% or so, 65 to 70%. Spelljammer kind of fell off as soon as we left. It came out a little later, and it was my Dark Elf, my 2nd edition collection is expansive. It's pretty freaking huge. It's I mean, hey, listen. The beauty of living in this era is being able to get all this stuff in PDF. I admit, even though I barely use the actual printed, I love thumbing through the printed stuff. When I'm running a game, I don't use the printed stuff when I'm running the games, just because I'm trying to keep them from completely falling apart. But if I'm reading up on something, I love reading through the printed versions. So, it's for me, keeping hold of all my stuff through the years has been very big for me. When I went away to college, I took it all with me, and granted, it made it a lot easier to make sense of it when I found friends who played, and suddenly I was living in a frat house with a bunch of people who like to play, and next thing you know, we had 10 people sitting around anywhere between 7 to 10 people sitting around a pool table, playing D&D and playing second edition with lots of space and spread out. My Monstrous Compendium, my Monstrous Compendium has taken so much abuse that the binder portion of the Monstrous Compendium is broke. It will not clasp closed. So for Monstrous Compendium, I've got the, volume 1, volume 2. I've got the Fiend Folio volume. And then I've got however many were printed for Greyhawk, Spelljammer, and Greyhawk, Spelljammer, and Ravenloft. I want to say Ravenloft had two of them printed for it, 2 volumes. All those are kept in separate binders from the main Monstrous Compendium. Oh, the monster sheets themselves, some of them, I wouldn't call them abused. The bigger problem is, when they get when the area for putting them through the rings gets ripped. Hey, Kern, Happy New Year. Good to see you. But yeah, it's my Monstrous Compendium. Like I said, the binder itself is broke. I still have it. I still have all things kept in it. I I would take them out and put them in smaller binders, except for the fact that I wouldn't be able to I couldn't bring myself to throw away the actual Monstrous Compendium binder. So it's like, what am I doing? I probably should find a way to just bind it closed or tape it or whatever, but I have to be real careful about it so that it doesn't further rip the pages. Or basically doesn't rip any of the pages. Maybe tape it, but tape it really tight. Monstrous Compendium is the one thing that I now that I have the ability to do them online, I go straight there for that. I've also started using the Monstrous Compendium more and more for my Castle and Crusades games. First, because there are many more interesting monsters that are not included in C&C because they were TSR, WotC, trademarked or whatever it is. Considered their IP. So 95. That's pretty freaking good. I gotta tell you, that's impressive. My Monstrous Compendium got so much use in just in the 2 years that I was living at college alone, or 2.5 years or so that I was living at college alone. That no, it was 2 years. I guess it was 2 years I was living there. That the pages the area with the holes got abused pretty badly. I was just using them so often. But yeah, no, I mean, you talk about modules, and it's like, all right, well, beyond those 4 compilations, I've got so much of the I series, which I think went all the way up to I-14 or I-16 or something like that. I didn't have it previously, but I now have both L1 and L2. I need a reprint of L3. I need Deep Dwarven Delve in a bad way. I was never able to find a reasonable purchase for the anniversary edition that it came in. Oh, nice. But yeah, so the two Len Lakofka modules. L2 was one of my very, very first modules. The Assassin's Knot was one of the very first modules I ever bought. Hey, Savage Splendor, Happy New Year. Good to see you. Stuff like Needle. Obviously, the two original Ravenloft modules, I6 and I10. God. Then there's, I think Tomb of the Lizard King was I1. No, Pat is not. Happy New Year, though. Glad to hear you're off until Monday. That's awesome. Get some time to rest, I hope. Then there's the three Desert of Desolation modules. I've got 2 out of 3. I'm missing one of them. Lord Fourth, Happy New Year. Yeah, I mean that would be cool, but I don't even know how that would be impossible. It's like there'd have to be a super secret printing copy somewhere that somebody made copies of, and I would love that as well. I getting it before they change Len's work on them. That would be awesome. I don't know, Pat. I am not actually watching my own stream, so I couldn't tell you. Hey, Pat. We're at that age where getting rest is a good thing. Recharge the body. What else? What other modules? I mean, then I've got stuff like the Hidden Shrine of Tomoe-chan. Ravenloft. I don't have the Ravenloft 3E. I've got very little 3E stuff. I've got the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. I've got oh God. I do have Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, which I don't know. I hate that thing. I hate that thing with a flaming passion. I want to know why. What were they thinking? I do have the Greyhawk Ruins or whatever the Castle Greyhawk thing for 3E was. I have that. It's not really Castle Greyhawk, but like because then there's the 2E Ruins of Greyhawk and stuff. Yeah, Draggy here. It's what happens when they don't for whatever reason they either decided to ignore or they just decided to get cute with it, not realizing that this actually means stuff to people. Hey, Fosco, Happy New Year. Good to see you. And it's annoying. It really is. It's like, just what are you doing? I got annoyed even before the whole Vampire Thrommel thing. I got annoyed because like some of the story stuff just doesn't even match. Like the timing and stuff. It's like, guys, this is not that hard. It really isn't. There are a few things that are as well documented in the world of Greyhawk as the as the whole taking of the castle or the temple. Hey, Quadroma, Happy New Year. Good to see you. But yeah, no, like I said, I've got the original Ravenloft. I've got Ravenloft House on Griffin Hill, which is I10. I do have House of Strahd, which was the 2E version, which I've heard. I never got to actually run the 2E version. For whatever I ran my friends at the frat house through Ravenloft, and I scared the hell out of them to the point where they were basically triggered every time I ever mentioned the word myths rising, because they were afraid they were going to go back to the realm. No, Lord Fourth, that I don't think that one. What that I don't listen. Castle Greyhawk WG7 was an attack. That was definitely an attack. Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil. That was just it was just bad choices made. There were, it was more. It felt more careless than anything. What, the word mist? Yes. Oh. House of Strahd is what I've heard is that and I own it. I honestly have never run it, so I can't say either way. But what people have told me is that it takes a lot of the issues that you had with running the original one and fixes them. So that's a good thing, I think. I never did three version. I have Curse of Strahd. I have the book for Curse of Strahd. I never ran Curse of Strahd in 5e. I ran 5e for a couple of years, but I had my own, custom homebrew. Well, not home. Well, partial homebrew, but homebrew adventures, but set in the world of Greyhawk. They were, when I say it more fleshed out. Fixing might probably not the right word. Drag here, more like fleshed out. It helped make it more of a complete adventure. Because one of the problems you had with the original and it seemed to crop up every time around, is like the players weren't always clear on what it is they needed to do, or how best to what do you call it, plan their attack or plan their final thing for Strahd, and it could cause problems at times. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I6 is still one of my top modules of all time. I will put that up there with anything. You went to high school at Strahd. He was so emo. Oh man. Twilight Zone will give you good ideas for adventures. Yes, it will. Oh man. Oh, doing a Twilight Zone marathon is always the kind of thing. There comes a point where I'm like I'll be like sitting there during a Twilight Zone marathon, and I realize that I kind of need to I kind of need to take a break here because my television is weirding me out. It's a great show. That show is just so damn good. But oof, Tales from the Crypt. Oh man, are they still showing Tales from the Crypt anywhere? Full, with the Crypt Keeper and everything. I don't remember the last time I saw an episode of Tales from the Crypt. Oof. Well, I mean, Dragon, there you go. If you fixed it when you ran it, there you go. And yes, I got the fix because, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just adding bits more to it to get more context and more clues, or more stuff for the players also to do, so that it's not because the original, it was like almost felt like they had to rush to go kill Strahd, and that's the wrong way to go. Wait, are we talking Twilight Zone coming on during the night or in the morning? Because Twilight Zone after staying up all night. Oh boy, that would be a trip. That's all right. Well, yeah. That's something. I don't necessarily know that I'd go that route, but hey, what other modules? I'm trying to think. Sticking with the the non Ravenloft one because I've got like I said I've got a whole bunch of the Ravenloft and Spelljammer stuff. I mean obviously Tomb of the Lizard King, Cult of the Reptile God. Then there was Treasure Hunt, which N4, which was one of those modules where you started off at 0 level and you used the module to determine what your character class was going to be, which was a interesting twist. We tried it once. It's okay. I never did any of the Known World or Mystara stuff. Actually the Salt Marsh U1 through 3 is another. I've got I mean I have it in 5e if I want to. I've got Ghost of Salt Marsh, but I do not have U1 through 3. Actually, it was only recently that I managed to get another big miss something that I was missing, and finally getting a copy of Ghost Tower of Inverness C2. So there's that. Nice. Don't think I own or have run either of those or played either of those. Yeah, no, it's like I was trying to think of 1E stuff. We already mentioned the Lakofka one, so Assassin's Knot and such. And this is the point I remember. Hey, I have a lot of PDFs that I could look through and say, oh, I didn't realize it was an N5. I can say I do not have Under Illitharn because I didn't realize that was a thing. Oh, right. So first edition, I've gotten to play a bit in thing Jay was running at GaryCon for Forgotten Temple of Tharizdun, but have never run it. I did run Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure. I did run Isle of the Ape. That's interesting. Pork and kraut and with. All right, that's okay. All right, yeah, yeah. Now I suddenly want Kabasi. Oh, dude, Dragon here. That sucks. Dark Elf. One of the things I regret is not having been able to afford a subscription to Dungeon Magazine at the time, or just the wherewithal to pick it up. Treasures of Greyhawk is cool. It's got lots of little adventures in it. I really enjoy that one. It's one of the better things released for 2E for Greyhawk. Let me see. TTRPG stuff, first edition. Then there was one of my other, yeah. Oh, that's man. That's the one thing I have about. I've got my books in my basement, and I'm that gives me nightmares. I need to like move stuff. I do have UK7 Dark Clouds Gather. That's another one that I've run multiple times. Oh, that's cool, Pat. That's very cool. Huh. Ooh. I just realized that I've got a couple of the Lankmar modules in PDF. One of which I already had, Swords of the Undercity. I don't know if that's really a module. Sometimes it feels more like a source book. Nice. Honor Among Thieves. If they want to do a proper sequel to it, what they should do is have the same exact cast playing completely different characters. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not realistic in terms of trying to sell. I mean, it's only not realistic in terms of being able to try to sell the studio on it, but it would be the most D&D thing ever. All right. Oh, I too was Tomb of the Lizard King. Dwellers of the Forbidden City. I don't know if I have. I've got to go back and look at my 1E collection and find out if I have I1. Oh yeah, no, I mean they definitely should keep the tone of from the first one. No, I agree with that. Oh man. All right. That's awesome, Moose. My I have. I mean, for first edition, the other ones I have like all of the Oriental Adventures modules, OA 1 through 7. I don't have any Conan modules, but I do have Red Sonja Unconquered, which was very graphic and tells you the Red Sonja story, and that should not have been sold to children, because, oof. But yeah. I mean, Pat, I'm not sure which one would be best for you, but there are definitely rules light games out there that you can run. Yeah, Dark Elf and Red Sonja's origin story is something that kids should probably not be reading. It's brutal. Oh man, yeah, but looking at all of these. Nave. No, it is not. Huh, Nave is not among the games I have. Oh man, Squid Games. All right. I think we are coming to an end. We do have a giveaway going on. It may take a couple of days for me to get you the code because I have not yet received my January codes for from Troller Games, but I expect that I'll probably be getting them in the next day or two. So if you want to enter the giveaway, exclamation point ticket. So far, I've got 3 people in it: Savage Splendor, DM Chris, and Dark Elf Twilight. Nice. I mean, Pat, suit yourself. Exclamation point ticket, Lord Forth. And I'll also try to figure out. Apparently, Rachel at Marquee Gaming is on a kind of like marathon type thing. She's been going for quite a while. Hey, Justinius. Good to see you, Greg. Happy New Year. Haven't raided into Marquee in a while, so we'll raid into Marquee Gaming. In the meantime, let me pop to stream ending. Thank you everyone for popping in, hanging out. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. Looking forward to this one being a good one. I am going to close the giveaway. Last chance, exclamation point ticket. Closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the giveaway. Drawing a winner. Tux. Awesome. I will get that out to you as soon as I get my January allotment. Congratulations. So if everyone could hang out while we raid into Marquee Gaming. I think I've got it spelled right. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all soon. Get those raid emotes ready, and bye now.